Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here at Trumful Reads, and in this video, I'm going to be doing the Reader Problems tag. I know it might be kind of a shock that I'm doing a tag video. The last time I uploaded one, I believe, was October 1st, 2018, so approximately 5 months ago was my last tag video, so I'm kind of rusty on these, and it's something I always tell myself, oh, I need to do all these tag videos, because I have like 7 or 8 video or tags that or tag prompts that I've been tagged in, but I haven't done them. So, and like this one, I was tagged by Katie at a cup of cyanide, like I don't know how long ago, 5, 6, 7 months ago or something. I like wrote it down in my little notebook, but just like I said, I stopped doing tag videos for whatever reason. And this video was created by Tiffany at About to Read, and I'm gonna leave their links down below. And let's just get right into the questions, and I wrote them down. Alright, number one, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How do you decide what to read next? Kind of what I do when I'm setting up like my monthly TBR-ish thing, which I do actually okay at. I think most months I do at least 50 to 60 or something like that percent of what I kind of put on my TBR at the beginning of the month. But what I kind of do is pretty much every month I just spread it out over like a bunch of different genres, unless I'm doing like a really heavily oriented like readathon that's like focuses on one thing, like just fantasy or something, which I do every now and then. But if not, usually I pick like one or two fantasy books. I usually pick a very short introduction. I'm starting that back up, starting like I didn't actually put one in this month, but I have started one this month. But starting in March, I want to add like one of these very short introductions each month. Just I like to kind of just like learn a new topic for the first time every now and then. I mean, of course, some of the topics I've already like read about before, but you kind of get the idea. Then I have all those Osprey publishing books that I've shown you about with like the illustrations and all that stuff. I might do one a month if I get more of them. I know I still got like a dozen I haven't read, so I probably could do that for this year. Then I try to pick like two-ish history books, like different periods, maybe like a Greek history book and medieval history book, or a modern history book, which I've done pretty good with so far this year. Then I pick a couple science books, like a life science book, or like a journalism adventure kind of book. And then once I get all those, I usually just kind of pick like a NetGalley book or two or three, because I'm so far behind now. Since I found NetGalley like in November, so that's kind of how I pick my TBR. I don't know. Did I even answer the question? I don't know. Yeah, I guess. And I guess in each month, I just try to read like kind of what I get to, like what I put down, but chances are I don't get to all of them anyways. But that's kind of vaguely how I pick what I'm gonna read. I kind of set it up for like the month, kind of what I'm gonna read. That way, every day I'm not just like kind of walking into my library and going like, oh no, what am I gonna read? I pick like a set time at the beginning or at the end of the month for the next month to kind of do all that like wondering beforehand. Right, number two, you're halfway through a book and not loving it. Do you quit it or are you committed? I generally do not DNF books, like at all. So I'm pretty much, if I'm halfway, I'm like so committed to that finishing that book. I just feel weird reading that much of a book and like not finishing it. I mean, every now and then, like I'll read like the first chapter or two and realize it's not what I thought it was or something, and then not read it. But I almost don't even consider that like. So stop moving the camera. Oh gosh, now I gotta go check it. So yeah, like I was saying, I might read the first chapter or two of a book and realize it's not really what I thought it was or something, and then I just like won't continue it, I guess. And I don't know if I really consider that DNFing a book, especially like if it's like a nonfiction type work. But yeah, generally, if I like get to like a certain, if I get to like a quarter or a third of the book, I'm pretty much finishing the book. That's just me though, I guess. Number three, the end of the year is coming up and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try and catch up, and how? I've only done the Goodreads challenge last year, and I didn't really have a problem with it because I set the bar pretty low for me, so I guess I don't really know how to relate to that. But if I did, that's what these Oxford Very Short Introductions are here for, because they're only like 100 to 120 pages or so each. Plus, my Osprey Publishing books, are only like between 48 and It's at, what, 96 pages, 48, 96 pages, I guess. Lots of illustrations and drawings and all that. So that's how I would make it up, basically. Number 4. Covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? That is actually one I slightly struggle with, especially like my favorite series, fantasy series that I've read so far is the Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch. And as you can see right here, these are the 3 volumes that are out, and these are the 3 volumes that I have for my favorite fantasy series. Like this odd, terribly printed like first book, just you can't even see the towers. Then I got like a mass market paperback because I bought it on eBay and they had it labeled like a hardcover, and it turned out to not be a hardcover, obviously, but I guess that one was free, I guess. But and then I have the hardcover of the one I haven't read yet, Republic of Thieves. So yeah, how am I gonna cope if I ever see like a good deal on the first 2, either individually or together, like as hardcovers and dust jackets? I will just buy those and then like donate those to a thrift store or something. Is pretty much what I'll do. But yeah, there's actually even some like nonfiction stuff where the sizes aren't like quite the same. Like I have these military ones over here by Brian Parrott, and then you got 4 of them are these really nice hardcovers, right? And then this middle one that just doesn't fit. That's just I don't know why they do it. Don't ask me. Those ones I still gotta clean up like that like sticker residue, cause like those you can't buy new anyways. But I don't know what I just have to deal with it, I guess, in that case. But yeah, there are a couple other, and then like see my Theodore Roosevelt trilogy. I don't have the 3rd book, but the first one is just kind of a trade paperback, but it's like an inch and a half shorter than the hardcover edition next to it. But the hardcover edition of the first book is like $35 new, and there's like hardly any used ones. But the paperback was like $8 or $9 new, so I was like, I guess I'll just do it. And then like I'm like staring at them, and they just don't match. I don't know. We'll see. Like basically, if I ever see it on a good deal, I'll probably just like pick it up and then donate the other one. If it's like something I really enjoy, because if it's something I don't enjoy, I'll probably just get rid of the books before trying to like collect the set, I guess. But yeah. Number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Really, I only have 2 friends that like read books. I have my friend Tim that you've seen before, and I also have another friend, Wyatt. Tim, I would go to more for like mostly fantasy stuff, fiction stuff. He's like an expert in that stuff. And then Wyatt would be the one I would go to for like ancient history or medieval history, that sort of thing. Tim and I don't always just have like the same taste. I mean, we both like adult fantasy and stuff, I guess, but he's much more learned with like all different kinds of eras and authors and genres and subgenres of fantasy, whereas I'm just like a scrub and I've only read like 40 fantasy books so far. And then with Wyatt, it's funny, like on certain topics like we'll agree, and then some like we really won't. And that's just like, 'cause we just think differently with history. But it's funny because like our views change like all the time. Like he used to I won't get. That's just gonna go off on a huge tangent. But anyway, so those are the 2 people I would go to for my nonfiction and fiction kind of just ranting, I guess. 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I have no idea because I don't think I've ever cried like reading a book ever, so it does not apply, I suppose. 7. A sequel of a book you love just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Do you reread, skip the sequel, or read a synopsis? Generally, that's mostly with fantasy, I would assume, or fiction. I should say, not just fantasy, but that's the only fiction I read. So I really haven't forgotten anything because it's only been like a year, but chances are, if I really forgot anything, I don't know why I would be so excited about the sequel, I suppose, but I'd probably like just read a synopsis. I'm not probably going to reread fantasy books like in general, so that's probably what I would do. And number 8, you don't want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people no when they ask? Well, I do let people borrow books sometimes. Like Wyatt has like one of my books right now. My sister has like 3 books, medieval history-ish books, I believe. Tim actually has a book too, so 3 people that I know of off the top of my head are borrowing books from me. What I would say is, like, I'd say no to, like, my Focus Society books. I probably wouldn't let people just take those. And then, like, any of my old books, not that I think anyone would want any of the, like, really old ones, but, yeah, I wouldn't, like, let those go. The old ones, I would just say, you know, you're not really supposed to be reading them at this point, because, like, some of them are just gonna fall. Some of them literally are, like, falling apart. Like, you can literally see, like, the covers aren't even attached on some of them. And folio ones, I'm just gonna tell them, you know, I just don't want them to get damaged. That's all. But like everything else, is pretty much very game in my library. Number 9, reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? Fortunately, I have not had a dreaded reading slump yet. I've only been, like, you know, taking, like, reading, like, for, like, BookTube and stuff, but since the beginning of last year. But basically what I do is, if I'm not feeling it, I just move on to another genre. I feel that's probably how I would deal with a reading slump, is either start a brand new genre that I wanted to, like, kind of, I've always, like, thought about reading, but, like, haven't, like, got into, or I'll pick another topic in history that I've never read before. I don't know, I think that's what I would do. So basically, you know, if I read a bunch of science books and I'm just, like, tired, I would just, like, skip science for, like, a month or two and then go just into basically another genre. Alright, number 10. There are so many books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? If there really was a handful of books that I really, really want, I probably wouldn't, I might buy, like, one. I have bought a couple books, like, pretty much new-ish. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a book, but, like, if I know it's coming out or whatever, I have bought a couple before, but not that many. So even if there was, like, 10, I can only, like, justify to myself to, like, buy one, I guess. Like those Final Fantasy books, I just, like, did my little haul video not too long ago. Like, I bought those pretty much, well, one was a couple months old and one was, like, a week old or 2 days old or something, since it was published. But very rarely, I guess, I would buy new books, and, like, especially, like, fantasy and stuff in this. Like, probably, like, when Scott Lynch's releases Floor in November Lane, I'll probably either pre-order that one or buy that one, but overall, I generally don't buy that. I would never buy more than one at a time. And number 11, after you've bought those new books, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? That one's actually pretty interesting, because some books I will buy, like, or once I have them, I'll read, like, that month or the next month, and then obviously a lot I don't. Like, so, like, I know, like, A World Undone, I think I read, like, a week or two after I bought it. I mean, it wasn't, like, new, like, just published, but it was, like, new for me. And, like, I read that, like, a week or two later, and because I knew that was going to be, like, a really good World War I history. And it is, like, probably the best one-volume work of World War I that I know of. But it really probably just depends on how excited and what genre it is. Like, history ones, I will probably read it really fast. Fantasy probably won't read. And then kind of the science ones, because, like, I remember I bought Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, like, a month or two after it came out, but that one sat for, like, 5 or 6 months before I got around to it. So I think it depends on the genre for that one. So there you guys have it. That was, like, a really long-winded reader problems tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it, like, some of the answers and stuff. If you've done this tag, let me know. Leave a comment or a link down below so I can go check it out. Or if you'd like to do it, just go ahead and do it. I'm going to specifically tag Justin at Ghost Reader, Alex Black, and Elena Mekradina. I'm going to leave their channels down below as well. You should definitely check out all 3 of them. They got really cool content, great stuff. Highly encourage you guys to go subscribe to them as well. And always remember, whatever you end up reading, read victoriously.